Welcome to Fangirl Diaries. This is your fangirl host with the most, Danny, and let's get into today's entry. I have to start this with Happy Valentine's Day, don't I? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Ew. Gross, the worst day of the year for us single people. Wouldn't it be crazy if by the time this episode goes up, I actually finally find a boyfriend? We'll still keep this in. Because fuck Valentine's Day. It's a day. Oh, wait. How many seconds in are we?
25.
Yes. Because I said fuck after the 7 seconds. We're good. That's going to be an ongoing joke. Valentine's is the worst. It's literally just a day created by the greeting card company so they could sell things and make single people feel miserable about their sad, pathetic lives. Isn't that right, Lilia?
Yeah.
Woo. Naomi?
Yeah.
There we go. That was terrible. Anyway, it's Valentine's Day. I don't know what we're doing this day. It's a Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. Who knows? I don't know what else to add. I hate this holiday. It's so dumb. But we're going to do one of my favorite movies of 2024. A very horrific, romantic movie. So we're going to do Lisa Frankenstein. So I guess we should just get into it, right? All right, everybody. So we're going to hit the 2004 romantic comedy horror film Lisa Frankenstein. It was directed, it was the director debut, I will say, of Zelda Williams, the daughter of the late great Robin Williams, for anyone who's curious about the same last name. I love that her name is Zelda, by the way. Do you know why her name is Zelda, Lilia?
Was he like Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, he did. He did. He was a huge fan. I think it was really cool. It's also written by Miss Diablo Cody, who, if you don't know who that is, she definitely wrote Juno, which is a fantastic film. And then I believe she did write Jennifer's Body. Did she direct Jennifer's Body? No, she didn't. But that's also a fantastic film. She's really good at writing horror films for females, like literally. So we're going to do it. It was my most anticipated film of like 2024 when the trailer came out in 2023. I was so excited to see this. I love me some romantic horror movies that aren't very gory. I hate when they go too much in the gore. This one just hits it just right. So just to give a quick synopsis, it's very simple. The plot, unlike our BL synopsis, which are like 3 pages long, the plot follows a misunderstood teenage girl, Lisa, who meets and develops a relationship with a reincarnated Victorian era corpse. The 2 important stars of the film is Catherine Newton, who you might have seen in Detective Pikachu, Abigail, and then of course, Mr. Understood himself, Jughead himself, Cole Sprouse. I fucking love that Cole Sprouse is in this because it just fits him so well after doing Riverdale. I'm like, damn, all right. So we're going to go through the film and all that. I will say, speaking of Jennifer's Body, technically this film is set in the same universe, or at least Cole Sprouse or Diablo Cody stated that, which I think is pretty cool when you think about how much that makes sense. That like, in Jennifer's Body, which we really should do an episode on that one. That is such a good film. And it's always misinterpreted because the trailers make it look like it's going to be this like sexy, total, just 2 girls making out and a lot of blood and gore. But there's like a deep meaning to it because the fucking studios fucked up the advertiser for that. And I love Lisa. So back to Lisa Frankenstein. I love this film a lot. I saw it 3 times in theaters to the point where I actually ended up going to a theater far out of my way to go see it one more time. Like, because they had taken out of the movie theaters really early. It didn't get a good weekend. And then the movie theater where I used to live around, they closed recently. They're now a car dealership. But I went there to go see it. And it was like a super safe Tuesday, which I kind of regret it because they announced they were closing already. So it was really sad that I went on a discount day. But that theater was really nice. I went up and asked them because they had the poster in the lobby. And I was like, hey, what are the chances that before you guys close, that I could get that poster? And the gentleman there, who I think was the manager, he ended up finding they had an extra copy of the poster and gave it to me. So I got to take that home. And I got it signed by one of the actresses who was in the film, who played the mom. But we'll get to that later. So yeah, it's definitely a favorite film of mine. It's one I really recommend, although I do have some small issues with it. So I'm not going to go beat for beat like I do with all my movie reviews because that's going to be boring. So I'm just going to talk about little notes here and there about actors, certain scenes that I like, things I wish they would have done differently. I will say the funny thing about this film is that they got the dad from Stranger Things, the Wheeler dad, the one that Mike and Nancy's dad, to play Lisa's like neglectful father. Homeboy's being typecast as a shitty 80s dad because it's also set in the 80s. He's a fucking asshole. He pisses me off the entire movie because it kind of feels like a Cinderella story, but not really. Like, you know, Lisa's dealing with the fact that her father remarries. She gets an evil stepmother. Her stepsister isn't as terrible. Taffy is a decent character, but it's one of those universes where, like, if we were living in this universe, we'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? Why is everyone so weird? And why are we hating on this poor girl who has done nothing? So it starts off the film. We get a really nice, I will say, to backtrack, the opening is actually really beautiful. They really do like a quick telling of how the creature, who is freaking Cole Sprouse of all people, dies in the Victorian era. Like how it gives off like very Tim Burton style like opening. It's really nice and well done, and then it cuts to 80s present day. And poor Lisa is like going to a house party with her stepsister because she's been basically enclosed since her mom passed away. And this is what I mean by her dad's a fucking asshole. Her mom died like the year before. We find this out at the party because this is what I mean by Taft's not a terrible sister, but she really needs to learn how to read the room. She literally starts telling her friends what happened to Lisa's mom, which was like a kind of a private thing. Or not like a private thing, but like why she's messed up. So she's all like, oh yeah, some random dude broke into their house and murdered Lisa's mom while Lisa was hiding in the closet. So she basically saw her mom get butchered. And then she's like, but then her dad, you know, met my mom and they got married and now we're all a family together. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this neighborhood? What is in the water system? Like, damn. But yeah, her dad apparently gets remarried. I think they mention it. I hope they do, because that's something they know. I think 8 months after her mom dies. Like, he goes to some, like, widows anonymous, like, not widows, not like some widow, what is it? Like, what is the word I'm looking for? Thank you, support group. Oh, a support group for widows. They meet there, and then they start dating, and then they get married. And I'm like, after 8 months is fucked out. Like, your wife is barely cold in the ground. I can understand this was years later. And then Lisa's forced to move away from, like, where she's known, her home, her high school. So she's starting, I think, her senior year, like, fresh and new. And that's, like, sucks. She goes to this party. There's a guy there that she likes. It's those typical, like, wannabe bad boys who, like, is all moody. And, like, he's so different from all the other, like, jocks and shit. Because, of course, she fell for that. And you know what? I have to give Marco credit. I would do the same thing. I was like that when I was younger. I was, like, into the, like, Edward Cullen, like, moody types, and that's what that falls under in a way. He's got this girl best friend who I'm like, either she's such a pick me that I'm like, either she's just a bitch to be a bitch or she really likes this dude. Because throughout the entire film, she's always going after Lisa, and like she knows Lisa likes him, and I'm like, calm the fuck down. Lisa has not done anything yet. She's still got a crush. Like, some of these girls, I don't know, teenage girls need to do better. Like, Jesus Christ. But I will say that the one thing I know some people are uncomfortable with when it comes to this film that I've heard, there is a scene in the film, and I think this is the problem that Jennifer's Body had, was that people, I feel like media literacy is dead. 100%. There is a scene in Lisa Frankenstein in this film where Lisa is at the party and she drinks. I don't remember if, I know she realized that she knew it was alcohol in it, but she had never done alcohol. And it's one of those things where she's trying to act cool. And or it was spiked. I can't remember. And the nice nerd guy tries to like help her because she like threw up or something. And then he assaults her. And it's not graphic. So it's still an assault. I think he like grabs her boob or something. So, but she's like obviously like out of it. So it's still an assault. It's nothing crazy graphic. But I remember seeing some comments in like trailers and stuff that people were just like, did not want to see it because they had heard there was a scene like that. And I'm like, it's not that like crazy. It's not like we're in Jennifer's Body where like, spoiler alerts for Jennifer's Body. just to compare, Jennifer basically, I think she almost gets, I think the implication when the band in that film kidnaps her because they think she's like a virgin, I think like I don't remember if they implicated that she might have been raped or something. I can't remember, but they murder her, and it's like this whole. I don't know. It's like they're like. I have to rewatch Jennifer's Body, but I do feel like there were like assumptions of like things like that happening in those films because it's to make a point about, you know, as women we go through terrible shit, but it's not usually the most horrific shit that happens. Yeah. So in terms of like without like the horrific thing that goes around us. So like in Lisa's case, she's got a live corpse living with her, but it's not the most horrific thing that's ever happened to her. But we don't see it, and she doesn't dwell on it. It kind of happens. Well, that's not true because she gets her look back afterwards. I think what I love about this film. So I had not recently. Actually, no, it was recent. When this film came out, it was actually my first Valentine's Day being single. I had just gotten out of a 3-year relationship. I'm not going to go into in deep, obviously, because it's personal. I guess I will say this. There were some mistakes I made that I truly regretted out of that relationship. And even though I know he's never going to listen to this, it would be crazy if he did. That I'm really sorry for whatever, you know, and everything, I guess. I don't know. So it was one of those movies that like I was just so excited to see something that was like romantic because I love romance, but also funny and kind of on the scary side. And she kind of grows as a person. She's kind of the sad girl in the beginning, and she grows to be a little more confident, a little full of herself, but we love a good growth. You know, we love a good growth. So, you know, to go back to like the stepmom, it really is Cinderella story because like, so they go to the party, they come back, and she wasn't drunkenly. In the beginning, she hangs out along the cemetery, is kind of been abandoned, and she leaves her mother's like crucifix necklace on the tombstone of the creature, and then lightning hits the day of the party or something, and he comes back to life, and she's really down on her luck because like her stepmom's really treating her like crap. Like everything that happens, she's blamed for. A mirror breaks. I think she breaks a mirror because she gets angry after obviously having such a horrific night, and she apologizes, and it's made such a big deal of. But it's like again, this girl's going through so much trauma, and the stepmom's a nurse. I respect our medical field and our people. I've been to the hospital a couple of times. I've met some really nice nurses. Some who've taken care of me very, very well. I had a procedure last year, but I do understand the notion that some mean girls do become nurses. I've never understood why though. Like, is it easy? Like, I don't get it because that's got to be a hard field to be in. Is it the control? I don't know. But this mom is a definition of like, she is a mean girl. And it's kind of wild that she treats Lisa like shit. And she has a daughter who's so nice. Like Taff is like, I will say this, she left Lisa at the party, which wasn't cool. But again, she's adjusting to having this new sibling. So I can't hate her too much because she's generally really nice to Lisa. She makes sure Lisa gets to school. She's always very encouraging to Lisa. She is a beauty pageant winner. And she encourages Lisa like to use her tanning bed. Like she has a tanning bed in their backyard because she won it for winning, I don't know, Miss Wire or some shit. I can't remember. So she's trying to be as encouraging as she can and trying to get Lisa to really kind of fit in without like taking her crown as Miss Popularity. But like, you know, she's got her faults. And then when the creature comes, I think that's when Lisa really pushes herself out there because homeboy needs some body parts. He's missing some very important stuff like an ear and what else is he missing? I want to say an arm or some fingers. I can't remember. And then the other thing that's very important, a penis. He's missed a penis. It is the funniest scene though, not to like go forward, but like they start developing romantic feelings and you know, okay, remind me to talk about that later because I don't want to get too into it because it'll spoil too much that I'm going to talk about. So I will say in terms of like costume designs, a lot of the outfits are really well done. Her main outfit that's on the poster, I cosplayed as that one. It's such like a beautiful look. I love the hair. The makeup is just all over the place. It's very 80s. And then I love the look of like the creature. It's very classic Victorian era. They do a really well job. Especially when he's a zombie, the makeup's really well done. And I love that in the film, I feel like sometimes in these like monster movies, they kind of sometimes forget that he's a dead corpse. So sometimes like they never acknowledge the fact that he's going to smell. Even after you clean him up, he's still going to smell because he's rotting inside. He's not live. He's not alive. Well, he's alive, but like some of those body parts aren't really functioning right. Because like he cries a couple of times, and when he cries, Lilia, it smells like garbage. She even says it smells like hot garbage. You gotta stop crying. So I love that they keep things like that, because I feel like we don't see that a lot. And he becomes like her bestie. It's very besties to lovers, because he literally dresses her up for the next day of school in that black dress number, the mini dress number, and this cute hat, which I wish I had for my cosplay. And she develops like a gothic style, like a gothic girl, like very 80s gothic girl. And it fits so well. Catherine Newton, by the way, is such a good actress in this. And she looks so good in it. To the point where, like, when she walks into school, Taff is like, oh my God, she's really, like, developing her style. Basically being like, she could do pageants. Like, she couldn't win them, but she could enter pageants. Like, she's almost good enough to enter pageants, which is wild. But I guess it's a compliment from her. And the mean girls aren't exactly, like, super mean. Like, they're all Taff's friends, but, like, they don't bully her. She's not bullied at school. She's more bullied at home by her, like, wicked stepmom, because her dad doesn't know how to grow a fucking backbone, and it's just like, you know what? I really don't want to deal with the fact that my daughter won't get over the fact that her mom is gone, because he's a dick. But that's why he's so good at that role. I mean, 5 seasons of, like, 10 fucking years of Stranger Things? He nailed that shit down. Like, 10 out of 10. I wouldn't mention his name, but I don't want to look it up because I'm lazy. There's a dream sequence that's very a la, like, classic noir, like, not noir, but like classic old black and white films. That's what was trying to figure out what I was going to say. Not noir. Noir is like detectives. She wears this like Victorian-esque and almost like a early 1800s America outfit, which I didn't understand now I think about it. If he's a Victorian era dude, is the Victorian era like more England? How is he in the suburbs of some random town, America? Whatever. But it's a really like well done dream sequence. They show an image from this like old movie. I can't remember what it's called, but I think I want to give Zelda Williams credit for her first film. She does a really good job capturing like the essence of like what us horror girlies really want, because it's such a good film. I don't know how to explain it. It's very much like we're not using gore porn. We're not going crazy with the killing. It's a very simple love story, but it's got that kooky style. Like this is something that I would akin to like watching like The Monsters or The Addams Family. Like it's a weird place to be in, but like you just love it because it's so weird. I wish the music was better though. They don't use a lot of 80s music. I don't know if they couldn't get the rights to it or if there's a budget, but like there's one song and it's, oh my God, it's sung by JoJo. Do you remember JoJo? Were you old enough to know who JoJo is? The leave, get out. So she sings a song in this and I was like, damn, JoJo still sings? JoJo, where you been? I guess she's always sung, but she did a song for this. It's a cover. I love that all of her top tracks literally is just Too Little Too Late, Leave, Get Out, and then Baby It's You, and then it's a bunch of random like another random song, and then it's again Too Little Too Late, Leave, Get Out, and then Baby It's You is there again. Like what? It's Can't Fight This Feeling. I can't believe I couldn't remember it was Can't Fight This Feeling, because it's like so the creature plays it on the piano because it's Lisa's mom's favorite song, and then JoJo sings it, and it's like a slow ass version of it. I didn't care for it. It's beautifully done. I'll give JoJo credit, but I'm like, there are so many good female artists from the 80s that we could have used more of their songs for like shots and stuff. To get into the meaty bones. So basically what ends up happening is that as the creature starts giving Lisa more of her confidence, she decides to help him by getting him some of the body parts that he's missing. So she actually is a seamstress. She works at, which again fits with the Cinderella thing. She was a house worker. She works at like her local dry cleaners, fixing up like clothes and stuff. So she knows how to sew really well. And she starts going after the people who have done her wrong in this town, which like the top 3, well, becomes top 3 is her stepmother, the dude who assaulted her, and finding out the guy that she likes. So when it comes to her stepmom, basically her stepmom starts accusing her of just doing her like stealing or breaking shit, and the creature gets really angry and attacks the mom and like stepmom and kills her. And he's like, an ear. He cuts off her ear and like takes it. And they sew it on. And she's like, before we do that, we have to hide the body. Her mom, by the way, is actually played by someone that's really well known. It's Clara Gugino. She's been, you know her. If you don't know her name, you know her face. She's been in a couple of things. So she was in the Watchmen film. She was the original Silk Spectre. She wasn't the second one. She was the first one. What else has she been in? Just so that people kind of have an idea of who she is. She's well known. She was in Sin City. She was the mom in Spy Kids. That's what I keep forgetting. She was the mom in Spy Kids. She also was in Sucker Punch. She does a lot of movies with this dude. But Lisa Frankenstein, I think, is like one of her most recent films. I met her. Oh, and she was in The Fall of the House of Usher. I forgot about that. I met her at Comic-Con, I think 2 years ago. Or last year. Maybe it was last year. Probably was last year. She was at New York Comic-Con, and I tried doing a Lisa cosplay. I mainly wore the dress and a bow because I really couldn't curl my hair because it's October and it's cold. But I got to meet her, and I told her how much the film meant to me, and she signed it. She wrote a little quote on it. It was really cute. I'll probably post photos of me and her. I'll be the first time won't be the first time I face review myself. I'll probably do that before this episode goes out. But I was so excited to get that signed, and I hope I get it signed by other cast members because the poster that I have is like the movie theater posters. So like the backside isn't like just white. It is like see-through. So it's like the poster backwards. So when you put it behind like a light, it'll reflect really nicely. But she plays this role so well. I hated her so much, her character. I was so happy when she died. Because she was fucking cruel to the point where her own daughter, like at one point, like she's got these little precious moment figures that accidentally gets broken because the creature shows up and Lisa throws them at him because she feels like she's getting attacked because she's got trauma from being attacked. And the next day, she's going off on Lisa about breaking shit, and Taff is like, "Mom, stop! You're not being nice." Like basically being like, "You're not being nice." And like again, I will give Taff points. She's trying to be a good sister. But there are things that she could have done better. But it is what it is. So they kill her. They bury her body, funny enough, in the hole of the cemetery where this dude climbed out of. Yeah, so they just bury her body there. And she goes missing. They claim that because here's the convenient thing. She was going to a nursing conference. So she was going to be out of town anyway. So like, there we go. So the next guy they go after, and by this point, Lisa really is honing in on this gothic style. Again, the dresses and the outfits in this. There's one like outfit she wears like a plaid top that I really love that I wish I could find. And this is the next one she wears for her next victim. She writes a note and she puts it in the nerd boy's locker, and basically she starts like fake fighting with him, and they kill him to take his arm. Well, it's the arm that grabbed her boob, so you know what? Fuck him. All sexual assaulters deserve to die. All right? Like, fuck that. I wish we could all do that. Do I condone murder? A little bit. Sure. Why not? Within reason. Within reason. Within reason. So they kill two people, and then by that point in the film, she's kind of grown too much of like an ego. And the police start getting close to figuring out what's going on because Taff ends up calling her mom because they're really close, and she can't hear from her mom. Her mom hasn't come back from the hotel and everything. She hasn't heard back. So the police are investigating because obviously they would. And then suddenly this dude disappears, and that bitch who's friends with the boy that she likes saw them together, saw her and the nerd, and starts telling people like, hey, Lisa was the one who saw him last. And she goes, maybe she's the murderer. She's kind of fucked up ever since her mom died. And Lisa gets pissed off. They start fighting because, dude, what the fuck has this girl done to you? Like, ugh. So by that point, Lisa realizes that she's about to be cut up. And this is where I was like, girl, no, but she's such a teenager. She decides that, like, since the police are catching up on her, she wants to tell the dude that she likes that they should sleep together. Where I'm like, okay, I get it. You don't want to die a virgin. Because that's like another whole thing of the whole film is that she's a virgin. Because this is kind of fucked up. Her aunt, I'm assuming from her dad's side, because of how fucked up how fucking miserable he is, gave her a vibrator. Gave her a full-blown like vibrator toy for like as a gift. Because she'd hoped it would loosen her up. Not like that, but like loosen up her like personality. Because she's apparently too like tout wide. Again, all the innuendos, but that's basically what she's meant. And it's like this giant thing. She uses it as a back massager, which like I get it because those things really do. I think could give good. She gives the creature a back massage with it, and I'm like, girl, don't use that. You need to throw that out. Use it on a dead body. And they share a bed together. Again, it's weird because he smells when he cries, but she sleeps with him in the bed. They share a bed together. She puts her PJs on him. I'm like, damn, that rest of the body better be nicely clean. But also, he's kind of turning human again the more that he gets his body parts, which is weird because I'm like, the rest of the body's dead. Like the inside is not alive. Oh yeah, because they put him in the tanning bed. So the way they get the like ear to work and then later the arm is that they'll sew it up. And a la Frankenstein, instead of waiting for lightning, they use the tanning bed because it's a malfunctioning tanning bed. It doesn't work. So when you put it on a specific setting, it like lightning hits it and then it makes things work. So this is where I'm conflicted when it comes to Taff. We don't know what Taff was doing before Lisa showed up. It had been a while. Lisa I think she steals a car. I don't remember. But she gets fed up. The creature ends up going for a joyride because I guess the police are onto them and trying to find Lisa. And then she gets in the car and is like, drive me to his place. I'm like, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. He's like, he skipped school. He must be at home. If he's skipping school every week, he's doing something with someone. It's kind of when you gotta let it go. Like, he flirts with her, but it's very clear like he flirts with her because she's the new chick. And then when she develops this like cool girl style that's like really similar to like his style, that's why he's not a good person. He's kind of he's a fuck boy. So again, to Taff. So Lisa catches Taff and him together in bed. And she gets pissed. And rightfully so, because Taff knew that he likes her. But also, I was thinking about this before. I don't remember in the top of my head if it was mentioned that they had been doing this before Lisa had showed up. Because whenever he was around and he would go near Lisa, she would interrupt and tell Lisa, like, let's go away. Let's get away. I don't want you hanging out with these types of people. And like when you think about it, it may seem like, oh, maybe she just didn't want to hang out with the losers. No, I think she was trying to get Lisa away from him because she was already doing him. And she didn't want Lisa to try to like take him from her or like, get her or whatever. But again, she should have told Lisa like, hey, but it's a whole thing. By the way, this is very 80s because like, I know you won't know about this, Lilia, but like contraceptives have really changed, and she has something that's like a sponge. So I don't know if these are still used. I'm kind of Googled it because it's still weird, but like I don't think these are available because I feel like I would know if they were available. I think maybe they've been pulled. Maybe they're available somewhere else, but she's a sponge. And I guess back in the day, another form of protection of birth control was like the specific sponge you can put in. And we looked it up. So it has like spermicide on it. So I guess it's to help prevent pregnancy. But I'm like, looking at how you insert it, because you got to love how you could find images of like diagrams. I don't understand how you would put this in every time. Oh, I guess I still kind of use these. I don't. Look, this is what it looks like. Yeah, I wouldn't use that. I feel like that's like, yeah, I wouldn't use that, but all right. But she has that because I guess she got it from a sex ed teacher and she drops it. It's like, why? When she flashes them, that's like what happens is like the dramatic moment of it dropping. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's not a condom. What the fuck is a sponge? And that's how you know the creature has fallen for her, because he fucking kills this dude. He got so pissed that he would basically reject Lisa because the guy, I gotta look up his name because I keep saying the guy. He like starts calling her kid, and it's like, you're the same fucking age, dude. And she calls him out on it by being like, you are the type of guy that like only likes cool things for herself, like for themselves. You want to be the mysterious, moody guy who likes these cool indie band, like those types of dudes who like, it's very clear that they only want to be the ones that know the cool like indie movies and the underground bands to seem like mysterious and cool to like the cooler chicks because they're different from everyone else. But God forbid someone else, like a girl, likes it, and then it's like, well, you're not my type. Or it's like, fuck you, dude. Like, you just don't want to be, you don't want to seem like the least interesting one between the two, because let's face it, the girl would be the most interesting one. His name is Michael. The character's name is Michael. Fuck him. Fuck you, Michael. It's a very small cast. It really is a very small cast. That's crazy. But he chops his dick off. Cole Sprouse. I love this scene. You just watch Cole Sprouse fucking axe his fucking dick off. And it flies. You don't see the penis fly. It's really funny because I want to know how they do this. It has to be a dildo. You see a shadow of it flying into the garbage can next to the bed. And he just picks it up and walks away with it. He like leaves with it and leaves Lisa behind because Taff starts screaming and freaking out, obviously. And then Lisa has to bring Taff because there's a teenage boy dead in the room. And by that point, like the police are after them because now they know that it was Lisa. But they fucking like it flies. It is the funniest shit. And then she tells the creature like she wants to stay with him. She wants to be with him. They also kill a cop. They kill a cop because the cop finds and the creature just throws her in. And I was like, all right, too much killing. But it's not very graphic killing except for the penis. But we don't see it. So she basically tells the creature that she wants to stay with him, and he basically is like, because he can't talk really. By the way, this is fantastic acting by Cole Sprouse. I haven't mentioned this. Riverdale aside, I will give it props to the Sprouse brothers. They don't act a lot. I mean, Cole does more than Dylan, although Dylan did those really stupid after movies, but whatever. They're still really good actors. You know, it's. I feel like we don't give a lot of credit to some of these kid actors who like really hone their craft. Like, yeah, they acted like fools on Disney Channel and stuff, but that's like part of the shtick. But like, he does this entire movie besides like I think it's like a post-credit scene, without talking. He does not talk a single line in this entire film. It's really his face and his movements. He's like miming the whole thing, which is incredible because he does a fantastic job playing this like creature who is being brought into this weird era with this girl who clearly is really lonely like he was, because his whole backstory is that he fell in love and the one that he loved left him for someone else. They kind of like very similar, so they connect. But like she's like, I want to sleep with you, which again, it's a dead, but whatever. He puts her hand near his nether region to be like, hey, I don't have a penis. And she's like, oh no. And then she shows him, he shows her Michael's penis. Like, I grabbed this for you. And because she literally says it without saying words, because she goes, you got this for me? And I'm like, you know what? That's true love right there. Well, he was like, what the fuck is this movie? You gotta watch it. It's on Amazon. I need to get it on DVD. I really want this on DVD. I need to get a sweater of this. I want to buy. There's not a lot of merch. I have like a few like posters. I like 2 fan arts that someone made at con. One was like a Lisa Frankenstein / Lisa Frank combination, which I thought was really cool. And then like this other artist, I'll look up her name and say it at the end. She has this really beautiful style of doing art. And I bought like a Josie and the Pussycats print from her a couple years back. And she does these really cool big stickers. She did a Lisa Frankenstein piece. And I saw her near Comic Con this year and I bought it. And I think I got one of the last ones. And I was so happy because I was like, I love Lisa Frankenstein so much. And this is my favorite thing. So this is like easily one of my favorite movies. She puts the penis on him and they have sex. And it's like a rocket ship. You don't really see them do it, which is great. So I wouldn't want that. And then she dies. Not because of the sex. Sorry. The police catch up to her and then she decides to sacrifice herself because she doesn't want to hurt her family anymore because she's kind of done. She's over it. She gave her cross to Taff. And then she basically gives herself up in the tanning bed because it's effective and it kills her. But she turns into a corpse herself. And then Taff is traumatized, which I think Taff needed. She kind of got out of that weird bubble. And that's kind of how the movie ends. Like the dad takes care of Taff because I guess Taff is kind of like the daughter he's always wanted. So it's kind of a happy ending. The ending, like at the end when you kind of see them together again because the creature and Lisa, they end up being together. They run off. He starts talking. He develops the ability to talk and he reads off a poem. And it's such a not, and I wasn't originally going to mention the fact that Zelda Williams was Rosalind's dad. Not that she's like, I don't think she'd be opposed to that, but like you want to separate sometimes the stuff. But she gives a nod to her dad at the very end of the film when the creature and Lisa are in the park bench together and he's reading like a poem to her, like a love poem. He's wearing rainbow suspenders, which is like a nod to Robin Williams' character, Mork from Mork and Mindy, because he wears rainbow suspenders. So that's kind of the end. I love this film so much. Because of this film, I actually discovered one of my like new favorite indie pop singers. Her name is Luna Moon. She has a song that came out around the time the film was coming out, or it was called Obsessed. And she did an edit of the film with it, and it was so good that like I listen to everything she comes out with. She's so fantastic. She's been on my Spotify rap. I want to point out this. She had 4 songs last year. She now has 5 songs. She ended up on my top artist 2 years in a row, with less than 5 songs. Like, she is so good. If anything you take out of this besides going to see this film, listen to her music. She is so good. She's releasing another song. Funny enough, by the time this comes out, she'll have released another song. Because we're filming this in December. Just because I don't know what the song's going to be called. So I don't want to say we're filming this in early January. Because maybe she'll release it by then. But she did announce before the new year that she's going to have another song come out in February. And I was so excited. I need her to come to New York so I can watch her play. Because she's LA based and I'm never in LA. So just to shout out the artist that made this print, because I'm going to post a photo of it on Instagram with my other Lisa Frankenstein print, which I have to look up the name of that artist, but I think I still have it. But this one specifically, her name is Lauren Moran. I've bought a few prints from her. She did a really beautiful Josie and the Pussycats one because one of the actors was at the con a couple years ago, so that way people could get it signed, and I have it. And she has this really beautiful like Sabrina Carpenter sticker, Glinda sticker, and I think I have a Supergirl sticker from her. But she does a lot of good artwork on Instagram. She's at Lauren Moran. Check out her stuff. I mean, she's got more followers than me, so like, what am I even doing? But she does fantastic work. And I was just, when I had walked past her booth because I was like going to get things from her anyway, and I saw the Lisa Frankenstein picture, I like just about freaked out. And me and her spent a couple minutes talking about this film and how much it like meant to us. So I definitely recommend it. So I guess we should go with my rating, right, Lilia? Is it rating time? So I'm going to give this a solid, I want to say an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This is one of those things where I'm like, I really enjoyed it. There were some things that could have been done better. Maybe some scenes. Like, I didn't talk a lot of negativity on it because I just loved it so much. So there really wasn't a lot that I felt like could have been fixed. I just think it was a really good film. It is one of my favorites. I just don't want to give it a solid 10 out of 10 because I don't know. There's some things I feel like could have been worked on. I just can't name them on the tip of my tongue. But I think like a solid 8 out of 10 is definitely where it's at. And then it's time to do our song of the week, which basically, because I mentioned her earlier, I am going to use the song by Miss Luna Day. So the song for this episode is going to be Obsessed by Miss Luna Day. We're going to put that in there. It's such a good song, guys. Listen to it. I am obsessed with it. Get it? So yeah, I think that's about everything. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I know I talked shit about the fucking holiday earlier. So whether you're celebrating it with your friends, with a special someone, if you're by yourself, fuck it. Go out, get a drink, go to see a movie. Just go have fun. You know, it's about loving yourself as much as it's about loving someone else. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Right, Lilia? Say it.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. All right, guys. And we'll see you, I guess, in the next one. Whatever. Bye. All right, guys, that's it for this entry. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Twitter, you can find us at FG Diaries Pod. On Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll find us at FG Diaries Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hope you all have a wonderful fangirly day.